Hi, it's Wendy. I've found this, I was just putting this in the recycling box. It's a little box with skinny light crunch bars in that I get at a local English shop here. And I thought, oh, that'd just make a nice size for a little journal. It measures, what is it, centimetres, 11 centimetres by 18. And that's about 4¼ 4½ by 7. So what I'm going to do is I've just cut the ends off. I'm going to glue these little flaps down for a bit of strength. Then I'm going to glue some pieces of card on of a similar weight just to give it a bit more strength, and then I'm going to cover it in material. So I'm just going to get some Pritt stick. I'm not bothered about it being extra strong glue because it will be getting covered with another piece of card and material. If I decide to go down the material route, I'm not too sure yet. I may just cover it with paper, but we'll see where we get to. So that's glued those sides down. So I need to find some more card of a similar weight. Now I'm going to see if I've got any in the rubbish recycling box, and if not, I'll have to cut up a good piece of card. But I'll just go and have a route. I found some maroon card that I'm not particularly keen on the colour, so I'm just going to literally glue it onto this back, and I'm going to trim at the sides level, and then once it's dried I can score it for the spine again. I don't want to do it while it's wet. Better leaving it to dry. Now I'm just putting the Pritt stick all in the middle bit, and I'm going to put some wet glue just on the edges. This is 3-in-1, which is getting fairly gloopy. I need to let it down a bit with some acetone. I'm just going to put a bit of extra glue down the spine folds, and then I'll have to decide what I'm going to cover it with. Now I've got a little box of material I keep down here, so I'll have a look through that, and then this will have to be left to dry. I'll put it under my die cutting machine between the plates and let it dry thoroughly before I start cutting it and folding it. Otherwise it might start buckling if I start folding it before it's properly dry. So I'm going to get my plates from my Gemini. I'll put it on the smooth metal and put that one on. Then I'll put it under the machine to let it dry. While the sun's in this room, it should dry quite well. So I shall be back when I've let that dry. These are the files I've got left over from sorting the drawer out in my desk. All bits of kits or freebies, and I've cut them all out. So these can go in my little pockets at the side here. I'm not really sure who these were from. I normally try and put a piece of paper in who they're from or where I got them from. Allure Books. Goodness knows how long I've had those. So they can go in one of these little folders. Not this one, because this is Artie May's things, but I'll find a oddments. This is Love Junk Journals, Tracy Fox. So I need to make all these into either little mini books or tags. See, that's misprinted on the edge. So all like sums on cards. But I'm just looking through for some paper that will do for the little book that I'm making. So that's quite nice. I'd have to put another piece on to sew it into the signature, or I could just have a couple of pieces in that way. So I'm going to cut those and use those. This again is Tracy Fox mini envelopes, so they can go in, and tags, so I'll use those as well. Which crafts do you do? This is a little pocket. It was a kit I bought from her, I think, and it's a little pocket. You just fold it up and then glue it into your journal. So I might use one or two of those, but after that they can go into my shoebox of envelopes. So that'll be another one empty. This is, let's see, envelopes, Yvonne Preston. So I can use these papers in the journal as well. So I'm going to cut those, and I'll put some of the envelopes in the journal and in my shoebox. That's for card making. Make notebooks I've written on here. So that is all sort of journal cards, and it looks like they're from Pink Monarch. So I'll either make mini books, just cut them like that way, and then that can be the front and back of a mini book. And I've just got a couple here I can show you. I've made these with lovely beaded spines, and I've just written on how many pages there are and put a paperclip dangle on. This one I've not put in a cellophane yet. I've just put a dangle on, and there's a couple of little journal cards, and just kept it very slim to slot into a pocket of a journal. But these can be sold or given away as proper notebooks, because 40 pages is quite substantial. So I'm just keeping those. So I'm going to do that for each of these, so I can make, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I can make 10 notebooks. And then there's some little labels that need punching out, little circles. So I'm getting there. This is the last of the files. In fact, there's some more bits in there. Oh, aren't they gorgeous? Look, butterflies. In fact, I might laminate some of those and make them into dangles. They're rather nice. So bear with me and I shall be back. Well, I've got 2 signatures ready. I've trimmed all the papers down that I showed you just before, and we're ready to go. I need to find some material still, but here we are, 2 little signatures. It's looking so cute. I'm really happy with it, and I've used all those papers that I showed you before, bits left from kits, some old ephemera of my own. I think these are John's dad's old pictures we found when in the house, and Yvonne Preston journal cards that I've made into, well, I'm going to make the rest of them into little booklets, and the checks. This is Yvonne Preston. I think they're freebie on a Ko-fi or Etsy shop, and that's upside down. Put it that way. And the same roughly in this one as well. A bit of gold paper that looks like parchment on the other side, which I thought was really nice. This is all just odd papers I've just pulled out for the drawers where I keep my card and paper. So I'm going to find some material now, and I'll be back to cover the cover with you. So I'm just going to put those in paper clips at the moment, or rather bulldog clips, just to keep them held together. But they fit perfectly. I've had to cut them down a little bit, but they just fit really nice. So that is going to be a really nice little notebook for somebody. So I'll just go and look for some material and we'll cover that together. Okay, I've found this piece of material and it's just really the right size. It's got a little end on there which I can use on snippet rolls. Take the signatures out, and that is just about perfect really. But what I am going to do is just cut a piece of card for the spine, just to give it a little bit of strength. And I need 2 pieces for the sides, and then I can just turn those edges in, put a nice piece of card on the inside, and then I may try stitching it so on the sewing machine. So I'm just going to trim that piece off, and that looks pretty good to me, a good size just for an offcut there. So what do I need? A piece of card to strengthen the spine. So I'll just have to have a route for that. Okay, I've just found this piece which will do perfectly. I'm just going to cut it. Just with the scissors, just quickly, because most of it's going to be hidden anyway. And that can just be glued in there. Right, glue. Now I'm going to use Pritt Stick and fabric or 3-in-1 glue. So I'm going to glue this first. Now I'm no expert on putting material for covers. I can never seem to get the corners perfect, I must admit. You watch people doing it and it looks so easy. And when you come to do it yourself, it never works out quite the same. So let's just turn that, and I'm putting Pritt Stick all over first. I always find that this does stick quite well. And then just put fabric glue or 3-in-1 around the edges, and just a bit down the spine as well, just like so. Now I'll just put some down each spine fold and along the spine itself, and then all round the edges. But then that'll have to dry before I take it to the sewing machine. I should be able to get through the thicknesses because the card isn't massively thick. Right, let's try. Where's my top for that gone? Right, let's have a look. Try and get it central. It's not bad. Now then, I've got one of these tools for stamping. It's looking pretty smooth on the right side. So I'm just taking that round from centre to the edges. Hopefully get a nice adherence on there. Like so. Right, I need to trim the corners. I always do mine on a bit of a curve. And then I've got enough material just to tuck in up the corner. I'll try and show you just what I do mean. Right, save those bits for snippets. Right, I'm just going to use Pritt Stick for now. I'll do the sides first, like so. Just take it round. Like I say, this will have a piece glued over it, so it's going to be okay. On this side, just feed it over the edge with your hand so it's got a tight, good fit. Now then, here in the corner, I'm just putting a bit of glue, and hopefully I'll be able to fold that. So you sort of poke it up like so, and then fold that up so that hopefully you get a nice, neater corner, like so. And the same at this side, just push the corner up. Got cotton glued to my fingers. Up a little bit, and then bring the rest up, so that you hopefully have a nice, tight, neat corner. And I'm just pushing that up. This will all be glued. No, I'm not happy with that corner. Just get a bit more glue on there. Fold it in a bit. Get tighter. That's looking a bit better. Get a bit more glue under there. And the same on here. Put some glue on the corner. Poke it in a bit. And then pull it up. And the same here, poke it in. And up. I could always put metal corners on as well. We'll see how it looks once I've got some card on the inside. So that should look okay, hopefully. Nice and flat. Now I'm just going to let that dry a bit before I start folding it in. In the meantime, I'll just find some card that will fit across the inside. I'll probably do it in 2 pieces and glue another piece down the middle of the spine, all the more for good strength. Okay, this is where I'm up to now. I glued that piece of blue card on, and can you see when I put the folds in, it started wrinkling up a little bit, even though it was quite dry. So to hide that, I've measured 2 pieces of coordinating card. So I'm going to glue these on like so. Then I've cut a piece of the same material, just the piece that was left, and I've done it with my pinking shears, and I'm going to glue that down there. Then I'm going to stitch around it, but I did want to add a closure. Now I have these like rings, they're like brads. So you put a little hole in the cover and put the brad through, and then you've got the loop on the outside. But I want to put that on before I glue the card on. So I'm just going to get my crocodile and just use the smallest hole, and I'm just guessing here really, but I want it to obviously be far enough on, so it's going to be about there. I'm not measuring in the middle or anything. Then those legs can go through there, and it opens out like so. Now I do have some masking tape here. I'm just going to put a piece of that over. Just put a little bit of glue on there as well. Just to give it a bit more of solidarity. You're not going to see this, so it doesn't matter. Just to cover those legs up, like so. Right, that's that. Now I'm going to use my Pritt stick for the most of it. And then I'll put some wet glue around the edges. The 3-in-1. then this can go under my Gemini machine overnight, and I'll stitch it. It should stitch okay on the sewing machine, I'm hoping. Like so. Try and get the edges even. I do like these fasteners. Just put a piece of ribbon through, tie it round the journal a couple of times and it's fine. So that's one, and let's get this one on. I'm filming this video in bits. I'm in the middle of cooking our dinner. So I keep coming back and doing a bit more. I just wanted to get this done, then it can be drying. I don't know if you can hear a humming going on in the background. They started building not directly across the road from me, just the next block down. So they're drilling down, digging all the soil out. So it's a constant noise at the moment. Get this one the same distance as that side. Like so. Then some more Pritt stick down the middle. I think those dark marks on there are from my metal ruler when I was bending the folding the arm, you know, folding it up just to reinforce. Now I don't mind some frayed edges showing here. Just make sure there's plenty down. I can always put a little bit more down. And put that one on. Oh, that's the wrong piece. I wanted it with the pink and sheer edges. Like so. Okay, so that's where we're up to now. So the cover done, signatures ready. Get using some ephemera, and I'll be back in a bit when this is dried properly. Okay, it's all finished. It's just so sweet. It's a lovely little journal. I've put some dangle paper clips on, and I've done beads on the spine, all tied together with this lovely pink ribbon on a little aged bronze doorknob. And it's got two signatures in. They're not too fat, but I have put a lot of the ephemera in from the files. So there's lots of the taller tags here from Tracy Fox. I think there's 16 in all. I've just cut all the white edges off and shaped them. So they go in this Which Crafts Do You Do pocket there. And then just pages for journaling. In all the envelopes there's either a journal card or ephemera. So I've put all the leftover bits from one of the floral numbers. That's where those tags are from Tracy Fox. So they're all cut out in there, ready for the recipient to make the journal their own, which is what I like to do. And a lovely paperclip dangle holding it in. And I just love those envelopes. I think these are with the Tracy Fox or Yvonne Preston, I'm not sure. So that's all the papers that I showed you. Some more tags, well, one tag there, I think that's the Tracy Fox. And I think this envelope has got a journal or a couple of journal cards in that all just fit nicely. I think they were all in the same kit together. or the same freebie. I'm not sure where they're from, to be honest. It's just nice to get the files emptied. I've still got a couple more to go, but that'll all go into the next journal. And the back pocket is just some more of the small numbers tags and 2 more envelopes with journal cards in. And I just made one of the tags into a pocket there. So that's a lovely little journal. Now the weight of this is about 250 grams. So I'll make it up to just under 500. Put that the wrong way. I'll make it up to just under 500 for the postage, with other things, other ephemera and notebooks, stuff like that. Like, I always like to include some extras if the weight allows. So the cost of the postage will be £10.65, I think it is, from here. So I'm going to say a minimum of €25, and it'll go in the Ko-fi shop. And so that minimum payment, any extra, it all goes to charity anyway. So it's entirely your choice what's paid. I'll just give you the measurements again. It is 4.5 inches by 7. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.